Wow. uh, okay, yeah, we're here at Esk's base here, Esk's Kingdom, and he's got this unbelievable base set up here. It looks absolutely amazing, but I just need to show you guys this. We've come over because Esk said we could come in and kind of raid his farm a little bit and get some of the fruits we're missing for our grocery store. And I don't know, I'm a little bit suspicious about this. You know, I think either he's trying to feed a massive number of small things or a small number of massive things. Hmm. Yeah, so I've just come over. I'm gonna grab some of the fruits we're missing. I've got my bone meal. So like we need cherries, for example. Oh, he doesn't have those. It's okay. We'll get the ones that we'll go exploring and find the ones that we're missing. But this will give us a good head start. I'm gonna grab some of these bits and pieces. Like I think we need plums, for example. No, we don't need plums. Okay, but we do need... What do we need? We need papayas, for example. So I'm going to grab a few of these and use them to make some of our own saplings, and then we'll take them back to the base and we'll get the episode started. Hey guys, and welcome back to episode 24 of Future's Edge, which is a mod pack by Landstrider, and we're here on Landstrider's Future's Edge server, which is hosted for us by Aim to Game. And I've been doing a little bit of work. We've made some progress here. If I can land without crippling myself. Yep, there we go. Let's head over to the grocery store, and I can show you what's in here now. There we go. So we've got, not all of them, but we've got a good chunk of the fruit, thanks to Esk mostly. Most of these came from his place. Turns out I actually already had cherry. I have been trying to plan ahead for this, and I've been trying to pick up like fruit saplings whenever I find them. So a few of these we actually already had, but a lot of them came from his place. So thank you again for letting me have some of those fruits. But yes, we've got this, and we can basically just do what we did before. You know, apply some bone meal. As long as our inventory is full, it should all get loaded up onto this conveyor belt and end up in this crate, which is going to be good for what you're going to see at the end of the episode here. I did another few things as well. So if I open up my quest log, Beeline, we went and we've completed this Bees from Another Dimension. I essentially just went to the Nether, not to the Nether, to the end. If I can head over... Start heading this way. Went to the end, spent a bit of time running around and collecting beehives just to complete that quest. So the only one we're missing now is those jungle bees, right? So I need to actually do some exploring soon and see if I can track those down. And hopefully whilst doing that we can get the rest of the fruits that we're missing. But I did manage to get a dragon egg. And I wasn't sure how I was going to do this, because they do have EMC, you can copy them. Turns out it was way, way simpler than that. If you look at that bee quest, Bees from Another Dimension, okay, Ender Princess, yep, handed it in. One of the rewards is a dragon egg. So I should probably have checked that sooner. Oh well, we've got it sorted now. We've got our egg, and it's all nice on display here. Marble pedestal with a nice glass casing around it so we don't accidentally click it and send it teleporting all over the place. But yeah, the next thing we need to do... Can I get out here? I'm trying to practice using this... Oh no! Ah! Trying to practice using these Elytra wigs, because otherwise I'll never use them. If I press P... Yeah, there you go, you guys can actually see now. We need to work on the supply for our grocery store, because at the moment, you know, it's nice. We've got fresh fruits, not really vegetables, but we've got fresh fruits in there. But we want to have a nice selection of sandwiches. Fruits by themselves are not particularly satisfying, at least not in this mod pack. So the point of these frame drawers here is that we're going to have them filled with all kinds of different sandwiches, and I'm hoping I can just right-click on this whenever we want to come and buy a bunch of sandwiches and fill it back up again, and, you know, we'll have some good food to eat. So we need two things. We need bread. We need to have that automated, and that means we need an automated farm for, of course, it's nighttime. We need an automated farm for wheat, and that's something I've been kind of putting off getting into. We've been using that manual farm over on the other side. And we also need some way of automatically assembling the sandwiches, and those are the two things we're going to work on this episode. Okay, we might actually be able to get a couple of quests done here, if I can remember which button to press. If we go into the... Oh yeah, I was looking at this inventory panel remote as well. We might make one of those. It seems pretty cool. You can basically, like, remotely access... well, we could remotely access this entire storage system, which I think is worth doing. But not yet. I keep getting distracted. So let's go tech tree... Agroelectronics. That sounds like something we need. So we need to make a thermionic fabricator, and I've got the recipe right here. So we need gold, sturdy casing, chest, blah, blah, blah. Let's grab that. Some glass. What was the other thing? A chest. Yes, I think we have one of those, or we can make one. Yep, okay. So sturdy casing, one of you... And is that all we need? Yes, thermionic fabricator. Okay, cool. So what do we get for completing this? Bronze gear, soldering iron. Well, we're going to need to make one of these anyway, and the rest of it's really, really easy. So let's just grab one of those. That's one less crafting step. And then what I really wanted to get to was this. We need to automate the production of wheat and probably some seeds as well. So we need to make a bunch of farm blocks. So, I wonder what's involved with these. Let's have a look. Let's see, farm. Here we go. So we've got like farm gearbox, bunch of tin gears. I just want the normal farm block. There we go. Okay, so we need what? 10 electron tubes. We could make it out of bricks. That might be kind of cool. Sandstone. And then we need more farm blocks with like trapdoors, tin gears. Okay, well, this is going to take a while because I'm going to have to run a bunch of stuff through the through the metal press over there. So I'm going to try and get all these materials together, and I will be right with you guys. Stop looking at me like that. What? Ugh, just... Honestly, you can't get like a minute's piece to just craft things in this place without people creeping up behind you and staring at you. These guys are really starting to weird me out. Anyway, that aside, I have managed to craft all of the parts we need, plus the extra control block or whatever that they wanted for the quests. I've done that as well. I was looking at these quest rewards, and I think... I mean, we don't need lives, we're maxed out. We've just crafted all the farm blocks we needed, so I think we're just going to grab the papaya saplings for no particular reason. And let's get rid of these excess items here. Of course, they don't have a home yet. They can live in plant stuff for now. And let's head over, because I've kind of picked a place that we're going to be building this structure, right? So, we can't just build a farm out in the middle of nowhere. There's got to be a space for it. And bear with me because I know this is an absolute mess. And don't mind those blocks right there. It's an entirely safe build as well. Don't worry. There's nothing that could possibly go wrong. It's not that we're overusing nuclear power in this base at all. Don't worry about it. But if I show the blueprint, it's going to look a little bit like this. It's basically a mill for our grain. So we're going to be growing our wheat. We're going to be processing it inside this windmill here, and then it's going to get transported over into this, which is a netherrack fueled oven, I guess, for bread oven. Now, we've gone with netherrack for very good reason, and I think it's because it's going to add a little bit of flavor to the bread. It's going to add a bit of a kick, you know? We want our sandwiches to have good quality, homegrown, home processed, home baked kind of spicy bread, and that's what we're going for here. But the very first thing I want to build before we get on to that is this actual farm structure. So if I think I've got this stuff on me. If I just press printer on while I've only got these farm blocks on me, I'm hoping this will place everything in the correct places. Looks reasonably promising. Yes, and it's formed. Okay, cool. So this should be the valve here. Let's just... Do we have our thingamajigger? Yes, we do. Our Yeta wrench. That's going to auto-output into the farm once we've filled it with water. We can connect the power from this generator right here. Yeah, I think we're going to be good to go. And then I need to basically grab a bunch of... stuff everywhere. Grab a bunch of these stone bricks, because what it does is it uses this stuff to kind of decide where the farm blocks are going to be. So underneath every one of these crops here, there needs to be a stone brick so the farm can detect it. And then you can see we're going to have some water source blocks as well. So I'm going to get this thing all set up and good to go, and then I'm going to start building that windmill over there, and I will cut back in and I'll show you guys how it's going to work. So I'll see you in just a second. Okay, let me see if I can explain this monstrosity then. So it's an all-in-one, right? So we've got this farm here, mill, and this is the oven. And we've got our automated forestry farm over here, which is working away. I've got one of these intricate circuit boards with the 4, I think it was like bronze electron tubes or something in it, and that makes it a crop farm all around. We add in some fertilizer, water from a reservoir, and a bit of power, and this will farm away and it'll produce wheat and it'll produce seeds as well. And then when it's produced stuff, it pulls out all the items. The seeds go into that compartment right there. In fact, let me just grab some bone meal and we'll cheat this a little bit so I can show you guys how it works. Whatever, apparently we only have 44 bone meal left. That'll do for this. Let's just run over. Let's grab, like, I don't know, a few of these. Yep, there you go. Now hopefully, yeah, it's taking the wheat and it's feeding it along this conveyor belt. And then if we go inside the building, oh, there's apparently some dirt there. Pulls it along, it gets sucked into this drawer here. Now this is the inside of the machine. And, you know, it's wind powered, so it has this, not really, but it has this kind of, not piston, turbine shaft or whatever what would you call that? I guess it's just a shaft in the middle which would rotate, and you got your big sort of grinding wheel in the center. And actually inside here is a sag mill. So it pulls the wheat out of here, grinds it up into flour and seeds, and then the flour gets pulled out along this conveyor belt. And I wonder if I can, let's just grab a little bit more so you guys can see the full thing. Come on, a bit more, you can do it. Yes, there we go. So it's on its way. Got this sort of crane thing here, which I guess sort of pulls the items up. It's supposed to look a bit like that, but I kind of failed terribly. But yeah, the wheat goes along, gets ground, shouldn't take too long, hopefully. Yep, there we go. The flour comes out, moseys along this little conveyor belt here, gets sucked into the furnace, and this is our nether-powered oven here. Which is adding that little bit of flavor to our bread. It loads the flour into that storage drawer behind there. There's an alloy smelter in there just to give it a bit of that engine oil flavor as well. Cooks it, puts it into bread. And that, that is step 1 of making sandwiches. So we've got that finished. We seem to be getting a few new villagers dotted around. I keep seeing new faces like these guys I don't recognize. They're new ones, so that's kind of cool. The village is still growing. I think we might have to build new homes for some of these guys soon. It's getting kind of crazy. On the other hand, I think people might be vanishing without a trace as well. I have seen a lot of like ender minis appearing and attacking people, and the guards are doing their job, but you know, I'm worried that people are going to start getting hurt here. But, you know, as we grow, I'll start trying to light it up, and the bigger the village gets, I think the safer it'll be on the inside at the very least. But, yeah, so let's get on to the next phase of this. I honestly don't know if I'm going to be able to finish this episode, but I think we can at least get the structure built. This is going to be our sandwich factory, so we've gone for a slightly more of like an industrial theme here. We've got all these sort of like wooden buildings. I'm trying to dot in as we kind of tech up little like splashes of slightly more modern building, just to, you know, trying to give this impression of progressing technologically, you know. I don't know how well it's gonna go, but I had to pick a spot for this thing, and this is the storage drawer here, the drawer controller for the inside of the grocery store. So if we go in, I'll show you. And this is where we want our sandwiches to go into, and they're gonna end up in this sort of grid here. Ooh, fruits are growing pretty nicely here. Yeah, that's okay, that's good. So I wanted to have it nearby, and let's get building, and I can talk while we're building. How's that? Let's grab all this stuff. I'm probably gonna have to refill as we go here, but if I switch the printer on, we are going to find out just how well this thing builds. But this is kind of, in a way, it's sort of like the back of the building, but there isn't just one entrance. There's 2 doors here. There's one on the side as well. But you know when, I don't know if you've ever seen like loading bays for like factories or shops or anything like that. You basically have an area where all of your deliveries come in and where you ship things out as well. So I've kind of tried to I've tried to imagine how that would look for our structure here. And so we've got these kind of bays. These sort of dark panels are supposed to be like the shutters where your truck, your lorry, depending what country you're from, would sort of pull up and deliver or pick up the goods. So on this side we've got, you can kind of see a little bit better, they've got these kind of raised platforms. The truck would kind of like pull up to it. The back, its wheels are on the ground, but the compartment sort of opens up onto this area and you can just load stuff straight out without having to lift things up or anything, straight into the structure. So that's what those are. Let's see if we can get this built as well. Let's run around here and I'll try to explain why I don't think I'm going to be able to get this finished this episode. The structure isn't too bad. It's basically just placing blocks like this. And I keep doing this. It's the crafters. I kind of want to get this outside done so I can run in and show you the pieces I mean. I wanted to find a way of kind of putting the sandwiches together. But if you look at, let's do it here. Sandwich. Let's just pick an apple jelly sandwich, right? So there's 4 pieces here. 4. We need our bread. We've got that covered with our bakery up on the hill there. That's fine. We need to make jelly and peanut butter we're going to use for this. So jelly requires sugar and whatever fruit it is and a saucepan to create. So you need that. And then you combine that with your peanut butter, which is made, come on, peanut butter, there we go, is just a peanut and a juicer. Although, I don't know if how that would work, because peanuts can't be juiced. I think you'd usually just smash them up, but whatever. And then you take those 2 things, combine them with your piece of bread, and it produces the sandwich. So there's actually quite a lot of parts to a sandwich, which is why they're such good foods, and which is why I kind of want to be eating them. And there's a lot of different types of sandwich. So even though they're quite complicated to put together, I kind of felt like if we could get the system down for them, we'd be okay. But let's head in here now. I think we can probably see parts of this. I wanted to use the immersive engineering assemblers, but there are just too many different types of sandwich. So I kind of had to do something a little bit more custom. And what we've got here is I've made like an assembler shaped structure. Oh, it's getting a little bit framey here. Let's just get these things placed. Sorry, this is a little bit bad. Tell you what, I'm just going to finish placing these blocks and then I'll finish explaining how these work. 1 second. Okay, so maybe I could explain this a little bit better now we haven't got sort of ghost images in our head, right? So, I don't know if you've ever seen one of the big warehouses for any of these big sort of distribution sort of companies, or any company that has its own distribution network. For the company I work for, we do have these huge sort of automated warehouses. And if you go in, it's crazy. There's like conveyor belts everywhere. Everything's automated. Everything's sort of picked by machine and carried around and stored and recalled automatically. It's nuts. And I'd kind of love to have an excuse to do that here in Minecraft, but I don't think we're going to be getting anywhere near complicated enough. But this was bad enough, okay? So we've got the goods come in here. And this is going to be our fruits and vegetables, basically. So I'm going to ship them into this sort of receiving bay here. Oh, what is that supposed to be? One of these, I guess. I'm probably going to have to tweak this as we go. And it's going to get fed into here. And it's going to be picked up by these crafters. So which ones are these? The tier 3 ones. I had to go with the tier 3s because these can handle up to 8 recipes, right? 8, 16, 24, that's 48 recipes. Actually, do I need that many? How many sandwiches are there? Have I just miscounted terribly? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So that's 24, 5, 6, 7, 28. Something weird's going on here. Hold on. So we needed this. We needed the jelly and the peanut butter. So we need to create the jelly with that. I might be able to get away with a lower tier here. I'm going to have to look into that after the episode. But either way, I need to craft these things. And even the tier 2 ones of these are nuts. So let's load up the recipes for them again. tier 3, right? So you need 2 tier 1s and no, 2 Ender IO crafters and a tier 2 crafter, which requires a tier 1 crafter and 2 more Ender IO crafters each. And these things require, I mean, they're actually all not that bad except for these Z logic controllers. These things require solarium, and I've got some of that processing right now, just so I can get ready for that. But they also require zombie heads, and I don't think we actually have enough of those. So I might have to convert that that passport control into a proper zombie spawner to grind some of those before the next episode. But yeah, the idea is the fruits go in here, get turned into the jellies, and then they get output on this side. The bread is going to get imported from this side onto this conveyor belt. They're going to converge on this conveyor belt here, and they're going to run over, get pulled into this machine. This machine's going to turn it all into sandwiches and output it. And if I was about to go through that wall, and there's a door right there. If I close that, this is right in line with this drawer controller, which is why I picked this spot for the factory. So, long story short, we can go in there, we can kind of automatically pick all of our fruits and vegetables. They'll get loaded into that checkout there, and I want to pull it straight into this machine, so we can basically still be waiting there, and while we wait, the factory is going to be working away producing the sandwiches, and they'll get loaded up into these storage drawers here. So it's a little bit of a circuitous thing. Oh man, it's been a long day, I can't use my words today. But I think it's going to be kind of cool to see the whole thing in action. But I need to do some work off camera now and between episodes, guys. So I'm really sorry. I wanted to get this done today, but I don't think it's going to happen. I'll finish crafting up these materials. And honestly, the configuration for this, I think, is going to take some time as well. All the figuring out like what goes into which crafter and how to take the items out and how to pass them around. It's going to take quite a lot of work, so I'm going to try and do that between episodes, and then I can show it off at the beginning of the next one. So for now, thank you very much for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye-bye!